everyone, welcome to the Leader's Edge, your path to personal and leadership growth. I'm your host, Steele, alongside my co-host and beautiful partner in leadership, Ernelita Dacumos. As certified speakers, coaches, and corporate facilitators, we're dedicated to bringing you powerful principles to fuel your leadership journey and personal growth. Now, whether you're an entrepreneur just starting out, a new leader taking the reins, or seasoned pro looking to refine your skills, this show is for you. We'll be diving deep into personal growth strategies to help you strengthen your mindset and leadership abilities. But before we jump in, a huge shout out to all of our amazing listeners. Thank you for joining us each and every week, and we wouldn't be here without your incredible support. Now, let's get down to business and help you unlock your full potential. Hey, Ernelita partner, how are you doing today?
Hi, Mr. Handsome Steele.
Yay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. This is your co-host, Ernelita Ernie Dacumos. And today is going to be a very interesting topic. It's something that I am very passionate about. But before we get started, partner, are you excited?
Yeah, I am. I really am excited about this guest today. It's an amazing guest. And I think that our listeners are really going to love to hear what he has to say and what he has to teach us today. So, partner, tell us a little bit about who he is.
Yes, it would be my great pleasure. Our guest today is a naval aviator and leader who began his career after earning a civil engineer degree from Purdue University on a Navy ROTC scholarship. Over nearly 3 decades of service, he has deployed to Japan and Bahrain, commanded DCMA Boeing St. Louis, and supported the delivery of advanced aircraft and weapon systems to the Department of Defense. He currently serves as an IPT lead for NavAir's PM 268 and plans to retire in 2026 to fully dedicate himself to leadership consulting. His passion for leadership development began in 2011 when he was introduced to the work of John Maxwell. Since then, he has become a certified Maxwell Leadership speaker, coach, and trainer, as well as a working genius facilitator. In 2024, he founded Crux Leaders to help organizations grow their leaders, strengthen teams, and drive meaningful change. He and his wife, Jennifer, live in St. Louis with their 9 children, and together they are deeply involved in their church, community, and nonprofit work. Yes, emphasis on 9. I did not know this. Everyone, please help me welcome to the stage Mr. Ryan Batchelor.
Hey, Ryan. You made it. You're here.
Yes. Hello, Arnie. Hello, Steve. Great to be a part of this today.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, that was a pretty impressive bio that Ernie read, but the thing that caught us attention the most was 9 kids, Ryan. 9 children. That's a lot of kids.
I think he's having a lag.
A little lag in his internet, maybe. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's funny because with all his credentials, everything that I read, and then, oh yeah, he has 9 kids.
9 gets a lot of kids.
Yes.
It really is.
Very impressive credentials. Ryan, are you there?
Are we still got him?
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see if it comes up. So, Ernie, our title of the show today is called The Growth Summit, and 4 steps to your next peak. And Ryan's going to be teaching us a little bit about this, and going to be sharing us a little bit about this growth process in the Growth Summit. Are you back, Ryan? Do we have you back yet?
No, I don't think yet. But yes, it's one of the things that I look forward to because I love the idea and the message behind it. And I think he is back. Welcome back, Ryan.
There he
just
Welcome
showed
back.
Up and then left. Welcome back.
I think he's having some internet issues, so a little bit of lag there.
I'm right here.
You got us?
Here.
Good? Awesome. So, Ryan, we were just talking a little bit about your 9 kids, which is a kind of a lot of kids. And that was one thing that we caught the most out of your bio. Caught the most out of your bio. But how is it living with 9 kids, Ryan? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think he's having internet issues. Ryan, if you can hear me, feel free to go ahead and turn off your camera, and we'll see if that sounds better. Now, can you hear us?
I think he logged out altogether.
Gotcha. All right, partner, this is the first YouTube live that we have, and first, I guess, podcast or video show that we will have. We're in, we will not have the guest, but he will be back soon.
Yeah, we'll get him back.
Yeah, we'll get him. This is not the first time that this has occurred. So,
no. In technology, this stuff, you gotta watch out for this stuff all the time, because it does happen depending on where the person's at or where they're located or kind of internet they have.
Issues,
fortunately,
yes.
Yeah, we've had it happen before. So it looks like we're trying to get him back on here.
I think so. It's like reminiscing the very first one that this occurred. I don't know if you recall that.
I think I do. I forgot who it was with, but I do recall it.
We're not going to name names.
I was freaking out on the other end.
We're not going to name names. I think it was the one.
Stephen, okay. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
You guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we can. Awesome.
I think we'll have to go camera off.
Okay. No worries. Well, Ryan, we were talking about your 9 kids. So how is it living with 9 kids, brother?
Well, there's a lot going on. My wife calls it controlled chaos.
I can imagine.
The kids have taught us a lot about time management. Everything we do addresses more than one at a time. So it's been a learning experience for sure. I have some out of the house already, so it's starting to get a little easier now.
That's good.
Nice.
That's good. Well, let's just we lost a little bit of time here with our technology piece. So let's just jump right in where we're supposed to be starting. So Ryan, our show today is called The Growth Summit, 4 Steps to Your Next Peak. So Ryan, can you share us, maybe you ought to share a little bit about how you really got started into leadership and how that came about, and a little bit about what a Crux leader is.
Sure. I'd love to. And appreciate the opportunity that you've given me to explain that. So on 11, I was stationed in Wichita, and the commander there was monthly teaching the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And so every month we would watch the video and do 2 of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. And so I was really enjoying Afghanistan, and they made me the acting commander. And so I asked him, I said, hey, can you just leave the Maxwell material and I'll. And it became the thing to do outside of the Navy. This was the next logical step, was to get Maxwell certified and do speaking, coaching, and training full time. In fact, the Navy's given me lots of opportunity for leadership. I was first the patrol plane commander for Crew 11, where I was involved in Operation Iraq.
Ryan, I don't mean to interrupt. I think right now we are
Freedom
having a major lag on the internet.
Operation Enduring Freedom.
All right, everyone. I will have to make a hard decision
Yeah.
to
Let's take a
delay
commercial
this.
break.
We'll go ahead and do a quick commercial break,
Yeah.
and we will be right back. We just need time to fix the internet issue. We will be right back to the Leader's Edge.
Do you want to grow a team of transformational leaders who can take your organization to the next level? Do you want to attract, retain, and develop top talent? Do you want to leverage generational insights and improve your employees' communication, interpersonal, and productivity skills? If your answer is yes to any or all of these, you are in the right place. Steve Steele and Ernelita Dacumos, hosts of The Leader's Edge, are seasoned coaches and facilitators with Maxwell Leadership Team. They will leverage leadership content, tools, and resources to help turn your leaders into transformational leaders with influence and impact, so everyone wins. This highly effective program not only provides the knowledge and skills necessary to lead, coach, and communicate more effectively, but Steve and Ernie have resources available to impact others throughout your organization so that everyone can be led well. So contact us at pathtoleadersedge@gmail.com and let Steve and Ernie help grow your organization by creating an influence in which others want to engage.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Leader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Steele, along with my co-host, Ernelita Dacumos, and our special guest today is Ryan Batchelor. We are struggling with having internet issues today, so I don't even know if Ernelita is back in. So I'm by myself, it looks like. So we're going to be trying to figure this all out as we move along real quick and try to figure out what we can do about the internet issues. I've even lost Ernelita, so now here I am solo on the show. So here's what you get. You get Steve Steele. So Ernie's actually on the phone with Ryan right now, trying to figure out what we can do to maybe get him in on the phone versus the internet piece. So we're working those technical pieces out right now. So if you'll be very patient with us, we greatly appreciate it. So Ernie will be back on in just a second. So if you missed the first part of the show, obviously you didn't miss a whole lot because we've had some severe internet issues. And sometimes we have that happen when there's a storm or the weather's not good in particular areas. All of us have gone through it. You know what I'm talking about. You've actually experienced it, I'm sure, on your end of things. And so sometimes the internets aren't stable wherever particular guests are at. So we have to make sure that the internet gets stable. So we're actually going to give him a call on the phone, try to bring him back in and connect with us through the phone so we can actually hear and actually get through the show today from that kind of perspective. So, and I think Ernelita is going to be back with us here in just a second too. She'll pop in and then we'll get Ryan on the phone and then we can continue the process. But in the meantime, thank you for your patience. Thank you for everything that you guys are out there doing. Thank you for the support that you've given to us. It's been amazing. We just really love what you're doing. There she is. There's Ernelita. She's popped back in. So everything good? Are we on the phone now?
I am not the guest.
No, you're not the guest.
We are working. We are working on the technical issues right now. Ryan will try to jump in through his phone, so we will wait until that is ready. For the meantime, partner, also, we are trying to add value to our audience.
Yep.
So when this is a good learning opportunity for you and I, and like I said earlier, this is not the first time. So I want to reminisce until Ryan comes back, if that's okay. Reminiscing the very first day when we experienced the internet issue that we had. I will give you a clue of when or what happened then. So remember the guest that we had was at a restaurant. He was doing a workshop that day, and since he wants to add value, he's a fellow Maxwell Leadership certified team member, and since he wanted to add value, he tried to cut to the workshop while on his break and jumped on the radio show the
Yes.
same day, and then mid-show he dropped.
Yes. I
Remember that?
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. I thought we've had it happen just 2 or 3 times in all the shows. We've done like, what is this, 117th, 118th episode? And
This,
only
yes,
happened
we've
about
had
3
more than
times.
100 episodes.
A couple
Yes,
of times it's been because of weather and different things like that. Those kind of issues.
internet, yes,
Yeah.
very poor internet issues.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that I think we have carried it flawlessly without.
Yeah, exactly. It's the one thing we do is at least we have fun with it, right? Because that's
Yes.
the important thing is that we continue to have fun and enjoy what we're doing. And I mean, if this had happened to us like on the very first show we did, I'd be probably freaking out. So right now I'm not really freaking out. I had to carry it solo there for about 2 minutes while you were on the phone so I was like trying to explain to everybody what was going on, and it was kind of fun. But at that first time, I do remember when that happened because it was early on in the
It was
leadership.
earlier. It was the very first time that we had the issue, and we were advised that things like that can happen.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when. It's not an if. And I think it's a good opportunity for both you and I to test our hosting skills, because we did not know what to do. But this is why we do content builds before the radio show, so that we can help carry it.
Exactly.
Today, I think.
Okay, we got
Yay!
something going on here.
Ryan is back.
He is back. Awesome. Can you hear us, Ryan?
I hear you just fine, Stephen Ernie. How many?
Wow, that's a lot better. Woohoo! Okay.
Come back, Ryan. Welcome.
Coming back.
All right.
All right,
Well, we talked about your kids, and we also talked about how you get started in leadership. So did you explain to us, Ryan, because it was kind of pieces were intermittent. We couldn't actually hear real well. Did you explain to us what Crux Leadership actually is?
No, I never got to that piece before we tried to fix the audio.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what Crux Leadership is, spelled CRUX. What is that? What kind of leadership is that?
Yes. So Crux Leaders is the name that I gave the company that I started in 2024. And the reason that it's named that is because it's the combination of the two passions that I have. One is leadership. The second one is mountain climbing. Okay. And so in mountain climbing, whether you're rock climbing up a vertical face or whether you're just hiking, to the top of like a peak in Colorado or California out west somewhere, the most difficult part of that climb is called the crux. So if it's a couple of moves on a vertical face, if it's the section of the hike that is the most difficult, that's called the crux. And so the concept of my organization, Crux Leaders, is that we will help organizations through their most difficult challenges. And so we do that by developing leaders and helping leaders become all that they possibly can be.
Wow. And hence the topic of today is the Growth Summit, 4 steps to your next peak. I wanted to share a story. I have not been fit at that time. My friend wanted to take me hiking, and I love hiking. And I think it's been 6 months since I last hiked. And I think I kind of relate to the crux area where you like question, why am I even doing this? I was unfit hiking, and it's very hard. And I did ask him, I don't remember why I am hiking anymore. And then went through the hike, finished it. And when I saw the view, it's a little lake with the fog over it, gorgeous. And that's when I said, okay, this is exactly why I love hiking. And I think that is the idea of your 4 steps to personal growth today. So let's go ahead and get started, Ryan.
Yeah, I love that story, Ernie, because, even though we might have challenges, even though we might have difficulty, it's worth pushing through them. It's worth the effort that it takes to get through them. And on the other side, we're generally better people. We have the view that is worth the effort.
Yes, for sure, for sure. All right, the first step, Ryan.
Yeah. So 4 steps in personal growth. The first is you have to be intentional. And if anybody has read the 15 Laws of Growth by John Maxwell, the first law is the law of intentionality. And it's actually first for a very specific reason. And it's because if you are not intentional about your own personal growth, it's not going to happen just by accident. And so
Mm,
the other 14 laws in that book are impactful, but they won't have the same impact that they can if you're not being intentional about your growth. So you have to be intentional, which means that you have to set aside specific time that you will have growth activity going on. And one of the other steps, we'll talk about what that growth activity looks like. But you have to be intentional first, or none of it is going to work. Ernie,
ooh,
before we got started, you were talking about that you're doing 75 hard and that you're on day 12, I think.
yes.
And there's a certain number of things that you have to do each day in
Mhm.
75 hard. That is being intentional with these certain number of things. And you do them for 75 days, which makes that now a habit and routine in your life. And when you do something like that, that's important over and over and over and over again, it changes you. That's
Mhm.
the concept of be intentional.
Right. Ryan,
Yes.
some people, they want to be intentional. They really want to be, but they don't really know the how to be intentional piece. What are some things that we can do to show intentionality, the how piece? What are some tasks to do or some tools we can use to do the how part of being intentional?
Yeah. So the first thing you've got to know, and the first tool that you can use, is your calendar.
Mm.
Right. So
Mm,
almost all of us use a calendar in some way, shape, or form, right? We might use one that's associated with our email program that we have on our computer. We might have Google Calendar on our phone. We might have something else that, our entire family can put events on so that we know where everybody is at all time. But don't let that calendar control you. You control the calendar. And so the first thing you do about being intentional is that you schedule time for growth. For me, Monday through Friday, 1 hour a day on my calendar, it's labeled executive time. I don't care what you call it. It doesn't matter as long as it's some period of time on your calendar that you utilize every day or once a week, where you intentionally focus on certain things that will help your growth. And that's what be intentional is all about. The
mm,
the second thing that you have to do, which also answers your question, Steve, is you got to choose areas that you're going to grow in. And so there's 2 areas that you want to choose from. One needs to be a skill and one needs to be a choice. So a skill is going to be anything that aids you in gaining the position that you want to gain in the future, or becoming better at what it is that you do as a leader. So maybe that's communication, maybe that's public speaking, maybe that's being proactive. Those are skills that you need to mature in to be better at what you do. The second thing that you need to choose is a choice area. So I'll just go back to something that I like. If you want to get better at rock climbing, then you need to learn more about rock climbing. And so your choice area could be, how do I rock climb better? And so you could choose to grow in communication and rock climbing, and you choose those 2 areas, and that's what you work on. And you work on that for the next month, the next 2 months, the next 3 months, and then you pick 2 new areas, and you pick something else in skill and something else in choice, and then you go work on those. And so that's the first 2 steps, is be intentional and choose areas to grow in.
Oh, so in those, I'm like so into it. I'm like, okay, which ones can I apply now? But no, I cannot do any more tasks for myself. It's 75 hard. It's very, very hard. It's very, very hard. Hence, it's 75 hard. And so if I am someone who would like to start my journey, whatever it is, so I just want to go back on the being intentional. Yes, I will utilize my calendar, and I love what you said. Work your calendar. Do not make your calendar work you, because that is important. What about, and this is something that everyone says, I am busy, Ryan. I am very busy. How can I incorporate whatever it is that I have a burning desire to do today?
Right. And that's a common statement, is that, well, how can I possibly get another 30 minutes or an hour available in my day to do what you're talking about?
And I want to make an added comment. I have 9 kids.
Yes. So this is what I would say. I would actually flip the question around, and I would say you cannot afford to not do personal growth every day, because what you will find when you start with personal growth is that everything else you'll become more effective in that you're doing. So you take 1 hour out of your day, but then the other 7 hours that you are working, you're going to be more effective with that time. And so you're going to make up that hour because of what you're learning, because of what you're doing, because of what you're trying to expand with that hour. Your other 7 hours are going to be much more valuable. You're going to get much more accomplished, and you're going to feel a much greater sense of your leadership being effective during those other 7 hours, to the point where, after you do this for a while, just like with 75 hard, you will find that you can't live without it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was going to say, Ryan, because some people say, well, I don't even know if I can find an hour. Maybe I can find 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, but I don't know if I can find an hour. Can they do that?
You can do less time. And the whole point is establish the habit. And then I think what will happen with people, and what I've experienced myself, is that you'll find that 30 minutes is so valuable that you want it to last longer.
Yeah.
And so then it will start lasting longer, and you'll eventually get up to an hour, and you'll be like, this makes perfect sense. Like, I totally understand how this works now. You just have to make the hard decision to schedule it, and push other things out of the way and off the calendar. And then you will find that the effects that you get from it are well worth doing that.
Absolutely. And I know I've done this myself, and I know that I've dedicated a certain amount of time to a specific thing that I'm doing. And I think here's another point that's very important. And I think it is what John calls the law of consistency. Consistency is so important. You know, when I started working on a lot of prayer and meditation about 4 months ago, and I wanted to do it, and I wanted to get involved in it, and I wasn't sure I could donate an hour to it. That sounds like a lot of time in prayer, you know, and a lot of time. But I found out that as I proceeded to do it and did it over and over and over again, it's exactly what you said. Now I can't do without it. That's what's crazy about this thing. You kind of manifest, you know, that feeling of you can't do without it as you move forward into it. Isn't that right?
Yes, you got it right. You hit the nail on the head for sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And one of the things that I would like to also ask Ryan is, and I will always come back. I feel like I'm the devil's advocate today. Let's talk about busyness, right? Yes, I love it that you kind of flip the script on me. But on days when I don't feel like doing it, and I'm going to give you an example. In my 75 hard, I have to wake up either at 3:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning to make time before I do everything else and I start my day. and a lot of times I am negotiating with myself. Should I go back to sleep? Hit the snooze button.
Mhm.
I don't know if you experienced that, but what would equip me or the listeners or the viewers out there to push forward and actually follow through with being intentional?
Yeah, Ernie, and that's a great point. And the key here is accountability.
Mm.
The key is to tell somebody else, those that you surround yourself with that are the most trusted individuals in your life, and you tell them, hey, I want to invest in this personal growth. And so every Friday from 11 to 12, I'm setting aside time to focus on my intentional growth. And what I would ask of you is that on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, you ask me, hey, did you get your personal growth time in today? And that's an accountability piece. And you will find that you don't want to disappoint that person. And so you will make sure that that time happens. And once you start to do that, then you'll discover, oh, I like doing this on Friday, but I also like doing this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then you'll find, oh, now I like doing this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it will build on itself, and accountability can help you with that. You've probably heard of the people who say that they're going to go to the gym together and they have to meet there at 5 o'clock, and nobody wants to get out of bed at 4:30 in the morning. But what they will do is they'll take one of their workout shoes and they'll give it to the other person, and the other person will give them one of theirs. So nobody has the right pair of shoes unless they actually show up to the gym, and they can
Oh my
trade their shoes back.
goodness.
Right. And so
That's good accountability.
that's an accountability piece that makes you get out of bed, because you're like, well, if I don't go, then
They
that
don't
other
have the
person,
shoes.
they can't work out either because they don't have the right shoes.
Oh,
That's
that
amazing.
I think there's a comment
Yeah.
for us, partner. It says here, people think they are busy because they have always let the calendar run them. Most busy people don't even have a calendar.
That is a good point. Most busy people don't even have a calendar. Now,
Right.
that's kind of an oxymoron in a way, because you would think that busy people would have a calendar to keep them on track, right? But it's actually the opposite. Busy people actually don't have a calendar, so they actually let the day run them instead of them running the day.
Yes.
Mm.
And I will tell you this, is that people will prioritize what they want to get done.
That's right.
Right. So if you probably think that your weekend is busy, but if someone comes to you and offers you free tickets to your favorite football team's game this weekend, guess what? You're going to be there. You're going to find a way to move things around. You're going to reschedule things. You're going to cancel things because you want to go to that football game.
Yes.
Alternatively, if you are fixing up a car and you need time with that car on Friday night, you're going to find a way to get the 3 hours that you need to work on that car. So you just have to think of personal growth in the same way. Schedule the time on your calendar and then do it, and you'll discover that it's worthwhile.
Ryan, why do I even need personal growth?
Oh, I was thinking about that too.
Why? I mean, there's people out there listening. Go,
Let's do this.
I am really busy. Why do I even need personal growth in my life? I mean,
Yeah,
I've been living my life so long. Why do I need it?
Yeah, exactly, Steve. So if you're playing that role, then I would ask you if you think that you're perfect, Steve.
Well, no, I don't think I'm perfect.
Right. So none of us are perfect. All of us are a work in progress, and each one of us is a continuous improvement project. And so the only way that you can guarantee that tomorrow is better than today is through personal growth. So if you want to be in my case, if I want to be a better leader in the military, if I want to be a better husband, if I want to be a better father, the only way for me to do that better tomorrow is to grow today. And so I have to set aside the time to do that and commit to it. And when I do that, I will get better at those things. If I let it happen by accident, it's never going to happen.
Yeah. And I think what I would like to also ask you, Ryan, is what has personal growth done for you in your journey in your life?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And of course, I talk about it as if, it was something that I've been doing since, age 4 or something like that. But I didn't really start on this journey until I read the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth in 2017. And when you read that book, you come out of that book with a personalized growth plan that's
Yep,
tailored just for you
that's
because
right.
you created the various pieces of it. And when I started setting aside this time on my calendar, um, and I said, oh, I'm going to do these things. Well, then as I did that, I started refining what I wanted to do in my personal growth time. And what I discovered was that there was things and aspects that I didn't even know about. Back in
Mm.
2017, I don't think I probably would have said that I'm going to be a full-time speaker, coach, and trainer. I might have looked at it as like a hobby or something I do in my spare time, which, right, we already said we don't have that. But
Yes.
anyway, so, I don't think I would be on the journey I'm on right now if it wasn't for personal growth. At the same time, I think it enabled me uh, to have success in one of the more difficult positions that I've been in, which was when I took over as commander of DCMA Boeing St. Louis, a 265 person organization at the height of the COVID pandemic.
Hmm.
So I go to the office where you expect there's going to be a bunch of people and, to just simplify it, a bunch of people that are waiting for you to go tell them what to do.
Right.
Right. And I get there and the room's empty.
Mm.
There's nobody
Mm.
there.
Mm.
Right. Everybody's working from home.
Mhm.
And I don't even know most of the people. Like I knew a few of them because I had been in the DCMA organization in other places previously. So let's just say I knew a handful of people. The other 250 so people, I didn't know them at all and they didn't know me. And so I'm supposed to walk in and they're supposed to just automatically have trust in me that I'm going to lead the organization in the right direction. That doesn't really work.
Mm-mm.
and so and so um, the growth and being able to implement a command philosophy that brought us all together, even though we weren't in the office, is what
Mhm.
helped that be a successful 4 years in command.
Wow.
Wow. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's amazing.
So okay, so you in your journey, Ryan, you have done a beautiful job from uh now hold on, what's your position now again? Because I know when we were doing the content build, you keep going up the ladder every single time until there's no more ladder to
Yeah,
climb.
yeah. Well, so admittedly, after being in command for a number of years, that what the Navy typically does, and the greater military does this as well, they give you a position that doesn't have quite as much responsibility, so that
Hmm.
you can get a little bit of a breather before they decide whether they're going to put you in a command position again.
Mm.
So I'm in one of those positions right now. I lead a team of about 20 people that does coordination between two defense contractors, both of who are building parts of one system. Um, and so that's what I do right now. It's definitely easier than being in command, but it's a lot more detail oriented. So, uh,
Gotcha.
so yeah, that's what I'm doing now. And of course, now we're talking about the military, and I do have to give the caveat that everything I'm saying about leadership and personal growth are all my personal opinions. They're not to
Mm.
be attributed to the Department of the Navy or the Department of Defense or anything like that. So while I have learned a lot in the military about leadership and learned a lot of lessons there, the philosophy that I'm talking about today is is my opinion, my philosophy, and it's what Crux Leaders tries to teach to organizations.
Understood. Is it safe to say, though, that with the teachings and the knowledge that you have learned over time and incorporating that to the military, it's helped you grow a better, not a better, and a more efficient culture within the position and the team that you oversee?
Sure, that's certainly going to be true. I mean, everything that we do in life teaches us lessons, whether it's parenthood, whether it's interactions with your siblings,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's learning through 75 hard. Um, right. You're going to learn lessons in all of those, and then we
Yes.
use those lessons and apply them in other areas of our life. And so, growth can do the same thing for us. We might look at it initially as if, well, this is just related to work, right? This is just related to what I do. But I think you'll find over time that what you're learning and how you're growing seeps into all the other areas of your life, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's as a parent, whether it's as a sibling, whether it might be as a participant or board member at your local nonprofit, whether it's something you do at church or some faith-based activity, you're going to find that those elements that you're learning seep into all of them.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for that, Ryan. We will need to take a quick break. Ryan just shared the first two steps, English Ernie, to personal growth. That is, be intentional and choose areas of skill and choice. When we return, we will tackle the last two. We will be right back to the Leader's Edge.
Do you want to grow a team of transformational leaders who can take your organization to the next level? Do you want to attract, retain, and develop top talent? Do you want to leverage generational insights and improve your employees' communication, interpersonal, and productivity skills? If your answer is yes to any or all of these, you are in the right place. Steele and Ernelita Dacumos, hosts of The Leader's Edge, are seasoned coaches and facilitators with Maxwell Leadership Team. They will leverage leadership content, tools, and resources to help turn your leaders into transformational leaders with influence and impact, so everyone wins. This highly effective program not only provides the knowledge and skills necessary to lead, coach, and communicate more effectively, but Steve and Ernie have resources available to impact others throughout your organization so that everyone can be led well. So contact us at pathtoleadersedge@gmail.com and let Steve and Ernie help grow your organization by creating an influence in which others want to engage.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Leader's Edge. I'm Steve Steele with my co-host Ernie Dacumos and our special guest today, Ryan Batchelor. So Ryan, we actually covered two of your four steps, which was one was the intentionality piece, right, at the very beginning, and the second step was choose areas of skill and choice. So we have two more to go. So talk to us about the third one, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Steve and Ernie. I appreciate that. The third one is to plan your growth time. Like I referred to previously, I call mine executive time. That's just how I label it on my calendar. But you got to decide what you're going to do with that 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour that you've been intentional about and reserved on your calendar. Because I told you in step 2, choose areas to grow in. So you have a skill area that you're growing in and a choice area that you're growing in. But what do you actually do with that? That's what plan your growth time means. And so you have to decide what you're going to do during that time to grow in those two areas. So I always start with a few minutes of journaling that kind of helps me center my thoughts and get me focused on what I need to do. And then I spend some time in each of those areas. We'll just say 15 minutes in both of those areas. So maybe if I'm focusing on the skill of communication, then I read an article about communication. Maybe I look at a book and take some notes on an impactful area of that book that can help me better in my communication. Or maybe I listen to a podcast that's related to communication. John Maxwell podcast is always a good one if you don't know what else to listen to. So you got to use your 15 minutes to do something that teaches you more about that subject. You can watch YouTube videos. You can do whatever during that time. It just needs to be something that feeds you. I don't recommend Instagram Reels. It's not gonna help you very much. So I start by journaling, and then I spend some time in each of the areas of skill and choice that I've selected. And then I take notes on that material, and then I look at how that material can help me in either other events that are on my calendar that I have coming up, whether that's a mentoring session with somebody else, or whether that's a training session that I'm going to do for the members of my team, and what kind of material I need to have ready and prepared for that. And that's how I use my growth time. But what you need to do is figure out what you need to do during your growth time, because the couple things that I do may not be the same things that you need to do. And so my recommendation is you decide on something, and then as you get started, you can tweak it and change it and adjust it until you get it to be exactly how you want it to be.
Yes. Ryan, there is actually a question on the chat. It's is asking, is it a digital or electronic journal, or are you using pen and paper?
Yeah, so I use OneNote on my computer, and I have different tabs set up for each of my skill and choice areas, and one for my journal. So I do it digitally, but that's because in my work, I'm generally sitting in front of a computer. You might decide that your growth time needs to be at a park outside, because that's where you think the best and can focus the best. And so you can use pen and paper if you want. That's perfectly fine. There's multiple options.
Yes. And for somebody like me, I actually use pen and paper because I am in front of the computer all day. And the last thing I want to do to end my day is be in front of the computer. So I use pen and paper. So I think Ryan would agree, whichever one works for you is actually better. I wanted to also comment that we love questions, we love comments, we love interactions. These are the things that stimulates us. So if you have any questions, if you're watching live, feel free to comment, ask questions, and our guests will be forced. I mean, we will be willing to answer those questions. So my question, Ryan, is how. So I agree. I buy it. I want to be intentional. I will choose the skill and whatever choice of that I want to do, and then plan a growth time. How can I track my progress of personal growth?
So that's a good question. So one way that I do it is I also have another tab on my OneNote where I keep track of the 3 most important things that I need to accomplish each day, and the one that's a must do, like I must accomplish this thing. And so I put my growth time on there as one of the 3 most important things I need to do. And so I can go back and look at, hey, am I doing this every day? Because I check it off if I do it, and it doesn't get a check mark if I don't. So there's the first step is to plan it into your calendar, and the second step is to actually do it. And so you can kind of have some self accountability if you track it on some task way that you have to keep up with the tasks. Another way that you can know whether it's working is to evaluate those 2 areas that you're choosing to grow in. So if I'm choosing to grow in communication, like evaluate, hey, has my communication got better? Have I been able to get my message across better to those on my team? Have I been able to convince people when I'm either responding to something in email or when I'm in a meeting that that my perspective is the right perspective? If you're trying to get better at rock climbing, then, hey, am I reading stuff during my growth time? And then am I going to the rock climbing gym or out to the cliff and actually improving? And so there are ways that you can measure yourself, even in areas that maybe it feels like it's not simple or directly intuitive how you can measure it. There's usually still a way to do it. And so, I would reference people to look at the idea of SMART goals, because SMART goals talks about like how you design it so that you can measure it.
Right.
And so, something like being proactive. Well, how do I actually refine that a little bit so that I can track whether I'm actually being more proactive than I was before? And there's a way that you can certainly do that.
And I want to make this comment as well, because here's the thing, we're giving the audience a lot of tools. and we're giving the audience a lot of opportunity to listen to what we're doing and the things that were happening in our life and the way that we're doing it. But I want to just mention this, guys. Just start something. If it's just for 15 minutes, start something. Let it grow. Let it develop in your life. And here's the cool thing. When you let it grow, when you develop, you're going to be given the ideas to how you want to plan that specific executive time in your life and that growth time in your life. You'll figure that out as you move forward. But start something small. It doesn't have to be an hour or 2 hours. Start out something really, really small. Even if it's just 5 minutes reading something in a book. Just start, because that's where it all begins, that first step. And as you take the second step and the third step and the fourth step, you'll begin to blossom, and ideas will begin to come out, and you'll be able to think and say, oh, I want to move here. I want to do that. And those areas of growth in your life are the things that you want to accomplish in your life. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that you want to accomplish. That's where your areas of growth are, right?
Yes.
So Ryan, the fourth step says, teach what you are learning in your executive time. Can you share with us what that means? Teach what you're learning.
I have to learn this, and I have to teach it.
Yeah, I got to teach it now, Ernst.
Yeah, that's the fourth step, and the fourth step is important, and you don't want to drop the fourth step. And there's two reasons for that. One,
oh no,
we lost him again. No, that's the fourth step. Whoa, we were doing good, so good here. There's two reasons.
So good.
Okay.
Why do we teach them? So I think for me is to learn that we to recognize that we're actually learning and have applied it. Now he's back.
Okay. 2 reasons.
Ryan, 2 reasons.
You're good. We got you now, brother.
Can you hear us?
Maybe not.
Now you see me. Now you don't. There you go. Now we see him.
There he is.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. Sorry. Okay. So teaching others, when you have to teach others something, you're going to learn it to a greater depth. So if you're reading for entertainment versus reading for, I have to give a presentation on this material, then you're going to learn it better. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is when you teach it, it embeds it in your brain better. And so it's not just going to be like, oh, I read that was valuable. It's going to actually become part of who you are when you teach it. Now, Ernie's like, I don't want to actually teach anything. That's because we have this framework in our mind that teaching means I have to get up in front of a group of people and I have to have slick slides and I have to do these other things that a college professor would do. And that's the kind of the mindset that we have for teaching. But teaching doesn't have to be that. It can be if that's what you want to do. But if you don't want to do that, then just have a conversation at the dinner table about something that you're learning. Or you can write a social media post and say, hey, I learned this about communication the other day, and just talk about what you learned. Or you can just do a weekly email to your team and say, hey, this is something I discovered this week. I just wanted to share it with all of you. All of that is teaching others and passing along what you're learning. And it will accomplish those 2 things of you'll learn it to a greater depth, and then it will embed into your mind so that you actually can grow from it. And so some people want to skip step 4, find a way that you are comfortable teaching what you're learning, and don't skip step 4.
Right.
I do love that.
I do too. I
do
too.
4 steps to personal growth. I wanted to reiterate: be intentional, choose areas of skill and choice, plan executive or growth time, and teach what you're learning in your growth time. Ryan, I'm sure the listeners or the viewers are excited to hear what are you currently working on and how can people connect with you?
Yeah. So I'm working on a number of things. I have 2 masterminds that are going on right now. One is on High Road Leadership, which is one of John Maxwell's newest books. And I'm also doing a mastermind on 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Those are virtual masterminds. I'm doing one more for this year on Leadership Gold, and then I have 10 scheduled for next year. I also have a free monthly newsletter called The Trip to the Summit. And you can sign up for that on my website, which is where you can find out what is happening with Crux Leaders. So my website is www.cruxleaders.org. So that's CRUX leaders with an S.org. And so people can find my schedule for masterminds. They can sign up for the newsletter, and they can see the other speaking and training opportunities that Crux Leaders has on that website.
Oh, that is beautiful. Thank you, Ryan, so much. Next week's The Leader's Edge, we're excited to welcome our newly found friend, Jonathan Coors. Now, he'll be sharing about his new powerful book that he's written called Horribly Lovely. It's a love story in broken pieces. And when I first got this opportunity to read this book, I was very, very excited and very interested in trying learning what this is about. So join us on this raw and inspiring journey of love, healing, and hope. Don't miss this heartfelt conversation. As always, Ryan, thank you so much for today. We greatly appreciate you being here.
Hey, thank you very much. I really enjoyed being a part. Apologize for the technical difficulty that I caused you at the beginning, but I'm glad we got through all the material today.
We sure did. You did a beautiful job, Ryan. Thank you so much. And just a reminder, you can find The Leader's Edge on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you find value in these conversations, please subscribe or follow, as I cannot talk English anymore. Again, please subscribe or follow to stay connected. We wanted to say thank you to all of our listeners and friends, because without you, The Leader's Edge would not be possible. We're happy to have you here and excited to connect with you next time. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.